Welcome to another edition of the Fantasy Sports Matrix. Jump in. We got a fun episode today. Today, we're going to be going through some weekly Wednesday or weekly winner drafts. We're going to be doing this every Wednesday going forward, hopefully throughout the rest of the season. Really looking forward to it. Gonna hop in a draft right now, see how long it's going to take. But I would like to. All right, waiting for 7 people. What I would like to do to start, though, is quickly get into this spreadsheet that I've been working in to try and help me make better selections in this weekly winners tournament. Still waiting on 5 more people. So I'm going to save a link to the blank version of this. I've gone in and added in some of the guys that I want to go on Do Not Disturb, that I would like to pick up games that I'm targeting specifically in bold, but you can go through and add in the games that you're targeting as well. But the way that this works is for every row, there is the information for each team. So you can see there's 2 games per row just with the team in the column B changed out. So everything else in the columns are going to be the same except for in the notes. I very specifically am putting in players that I'm targeting. This is just generally the skill players and the quarterbacks that I'm going after. Still waiting on 3 more. And I'm going to start narrowing this down to be a little bit more specific to the week, such as getting guys who I think are going to be the starters early on in the season. And then once we get to week 17 per se, or week 16, some of the guys who maybe are planning to be backups to start the season, since they probably won't be starting right away. And we'll kind of go through it of how I like to use it, but there are many different ways that you can filter this. Let's say you choose one team. Let's say you draft Travis Kelce and Mahomes, and you only want to I got to clear the rest of them, and you only want to draft those teams. You can filter by Kansas City and look at their weeks. Now the colors are set up a little bit uniquely. The Thursday game is in orange. The Sunday night game is in purple. Monday night game is in green with some other colors. I want to say like beige and maybe yellow for the Friday and Saturday morning games, and blue for Saturday night. All right, the draft has started. Noti gang, what's going on? Thanks for subbing. Yeah, need this chart in my inbox yesterday. I'm going to be sharing these. Actually, I think you are shared in one of them. Maybe I'll share the updated version with you, Childs, afterwards. But all right, we're going to switch over to the draft. We're starting up. All right, so we got the 3 spots. So this is going to be really interesting. I have some previous rankings in here, but I have Kelce 3rd right now. I'll get one of these 3 guys, Nash Villainly. That's pretty good. That's a ode to Mad Villainly, to the villain Doom himself. I think I got a – no, don't have anything. Oh, I do have the Doom mask on my floor. One day I'll wear this during stream. Love the name, though, Mad Villainly or Nash Villainly. Any other big names in here? Oh, we got Herzig. Fun. All right, Herzig. Hop in the chat. Say hello. Kidding. But, yeah, let's try this. I don't think Mahomes is going to last, but let's push it again. I want to try and get as many of these Kelce teams as possible, especially because I haven't been drafting a ton of Kelce in BBM. It feels like I'm going to try and get some exposures of guys that I'm not getting that I like in these weekly winner contests, especially the ones that have the elite upside, such as Kelce. So obviously we're going to put Pat in the queue here and see what happens. But the way I typically prefer drafting with this spreadsheet is to kind of go through the first 4 to 5 rounds, picking the best teams that I can. I'm typically going to be trying to stack these quarterbacks of Mahomes, Hurts, Allen, Lamar, Burrow, even Herbert to some extent, of making sure that I'm stacking them up with their pass catchers. So most of the pass catchers are going before these quarterbacks. So if I do get one of those pass catchers like Kelsey, I'm looking at this group of quarterbacks. If not, I'll probably just look at everyone and try and take best player available. Again, I am focusing on the 1Z positions at quarterback and tight end. I think that it's the easiest thing to get right on a week-to-week basis. So let's see how the draft is going. Bring up the board real quick so you guys can see and make sure that's working for everybody. Nice, it is. Check the comments. Drafted from the 3 at lunch today. How did you wind up finishing that? Were you able to get Mahomes on that team? Was that with Kelsey, or did you luck into JJ or Chase? It's interesting to think about what would happen if like McCaffrey went at 2, who I would take, Chase or Kelsey. I'd probably still take Chase, but I still think that tier of Jefferson, Chase, and Kelsey is kind of its own thing in this format. So heading towards a turn, not a lot of running backs going off the board, which is very aligned to my gut reaction. I think Eckler's probably deserving of a first-round pick, but I don't know. There's just something about the running backs this year that in this contest in particular, I don't really love. So let's see what Herzig does. I'll be paying attention to his team, obviously. One of the thought leaders in the best ball space, appreciate a lot of the stuff that he does. So Bijan, Adams, fun little start there. So we're going to probably have a wide receiver go here. My guess is, probably Wilson. And then if we have, hopefully the Allen owner goes there, Hertz owner goes there. It's going to be tough to get Pat back to 22, and I think he's worth a much higher pick than that. I think it's going to be very difficult in a few weeks to be getting Kelsey and Mahomes. Yeah, Mahomes goes at 15 there. Not surprising. If you got one of those day 1, day 2 Kelsey Mahomes teams, you're feeling pretty good right now. So let's see how we're going to build our way out of this. I recently did a Kelsey, Andrews, Lamar build that I really liked, but don't know if I'm going to do that again this draft. You can get that a few times, especially from the 1-1, maybe even no Mahomes, ended up 3 QB build or Russ or Kenny. Yeah, I think, and that's fine, especially when you're making that. Did you make only one bet on Kelsey? Saying hello there. And I'm on the clock. Hello there, Childs. I'm not sure what that was in reference to. All right, so Saquon, Pollard, Andrews. I think I'm feeling Olave right now. Trying to build out some New Orleans stack. So after I make my next pick, I'll decide how I want to proceed. So yeah, they're probably going to try and go Lamar, Andrews at this turn. You're going to see that a lot. So this is the Chase owner too. So, okay, that's interesting. So maybe I'm more willing to take Higgins here if he falls. Nope, Higgins went there. So probably going to go best available running back. Hoping it's Barkley or Pollard. Let's see how the board falls to us. And so there goes Barkley. If this guy doesn't go, yeah, he went Lamar. All right, so we're going to go Pollard, which I like. Starting off Pollard, Olave, and Kelsey. So in this situation, the thing I kind of like doing, Kansas City, as you can see on my list. Oops, I got to clear them off again. Here, let me switch tabs for y'all. So we're going back to my sheet. So you can see here, We got 17 picks. I'll update you guys on Herzig in a sec. But what I like doing here, I like having a little bit of a break. So I'm going to clear my teams. If you go to Kansas City, you can tell I have a lot of their games bolded. So there's a lot of weeks that they have that I am targeting. So I'm going to just specifically look at New Orleans and Dallas and see what weeks overlap. So weeks 8, week 10, 13. So 8, 10, 13. I think Kansas City plays week 10, so that's not great. Let's see if New Orleans or Dallas play each other at all, or Kansas City and New Orleans, or Kansas City and Dallas. I am not seeing any of those matchups. So we got no direct bring backs to start. So this should be fun. Definitely going to go week 8 and definitely going to go week 13. I really like those matchups. So right now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to add Kansas City back in here, and then I'm going to filter the weeks down to weeks 8 and 13 and look at who they're playing against. And the thing I like doing is focusing on some of these teams. So I want to be targeting, I've done it probably about 14, 15 of these drafts. I think I like it best when I can focus in on 3 weeks in particular. Preferably some of those are correlated. So I'm going to be willing to open up to 1 more week, but I'm going to try and get as many of these teams that you see on my screen right now. The Rams, Cowboys, Saints, Colts, Chiefs, Broncos, Seahawks, Lions, and Packers. I'm going to go after those teams and see if then maybe I can find another week that is correlated with all of these guys, because I could put week 10 in here where, yeah, New Orleans and Dallas have pretty good matchups, but Kansas City doesn't play that week. I kind of want to build this team around Kelsey in week 10. So I kind of don't want to be focusing on week 10. So worst case scenario, I can add that, but if not, that's the way to go. So let's swing over. Oh, you said bully tight and enders too. So did you go Lamar as well? We should compare those teams. You go Kelsey, Andrews, Lamar. That was a fun little start, but I think we're about to be on the clock. Up in 2 picks here, and let's switch over for y'all. All right. So coming up, remember some of those teams that we were talking about. Interesting. Burrow is falling a bunch. Herbert is also falling a lot, which is interesting, especially with the AFC West bet. I don't mind making a bet on the Chargers. Maybe I take Williams and push, because who's Matt Villeneuve going to take? He's probably going to take Burrow. So if I can take Mike Will, then get Herbert, I kind of like doing that. So let's try that. Let's go get Mike Will and then see if Herbert can fall to us. That'd be really annoying if he didn't. But if not, going back to my sheet really quickly, none of these teams are sticking out to me for those weeks. So I'll probably just wind up going. So actually, let me add in Chargers now that I'm thinking about it. Well, let's see how this goes. So there goes Kirk off the board. Yep. All right. Don't do it. Don't do it, man. Oh, let's get some music going in a sec, too. So we're going to go Herbert. Come on. There we go. All right, fun. So we switch back over. And now let's dig in a little bit more to what I got going here. So we're going to go take out, I guess we could leave Kansas City in, but let's go here and let's add in, actually, let's take away, Yeah, let's take away Kansas City no, let's add them. Let's keep them in. And let's just show all the weeks. And we're trying to get 3 or 4, probably 3 highlighted weeks. So 1, 3, 7, 8 with Denver against Kansas City, which is interesting. So I kind of like 8. 7 is interesting, but who has bye? So Pollard has the week 7 bye, though. So I don't love targeting week 7. So the 3s where the other one is playing 1, 3, 1, 3, 8. I don't want to do 10. 1, 3, 8, 13. So if I do that, 1, 3, 8, and 13. So this is 4 weeks. So we'll have these teams up, and we'll primarily start focusing on these teams, especially the AFC West teams. And if I'm not mistaken, AFC West this year, I believe, plays AFC East. Let me bring that up so I have that for myself. Schedule, what do you call it? Divisional opponents, NFL 2023. Okay. So, yeah, the AFC West plays AFC East and the NFC North. So focusing on that division right now, those divisions right now, AFC East, AFC North, AFC West, as well as some of these teams we have in here. So going back to the draft board real quick. Yeah, beautiful Herbert side. I really like that. He's one of those guys that are in that same tier as Lamar, Hurts, Mahomes, and Allen in terms of like, can you get that top weekly output multiple weeks? I think he's definitely the bottom of that tier, but I do think there's a tier between him and Lawrence. I'm very, very fine going Herbert as my only quarterback in this build. Don't mind adding some other pieces like Quinton. I guess my question is, do I want to push Quinton with an ADP of 79? No, I'm going to take him in the 7th round. But taking a look back at my board real quick. Let's get over here for you guys. So up next, this double tight end strategy is really interesting. Getting him here is something, especially Dallas plays Philly a couple times, although not on my current weekly list, but that might be too good to pass up unless there's someone else that's standing out to me. But I think I'm going to go Goddard here and just have my double elite tight ends, which I really like that strategy in this contest. And then I'll start filling out the rest of my lineup with some of these wide receivers that I like and some of these running backs. So we're going to go Quinton here, as long as this guy doesn't snipe me. Pierce would be really nice for this team. Swift is a good player in this contest as well. I wouldn't have minded getting him there. So, yep, we'll take Quinton. And now that we got Philly in there, so there's 2 Week 10 tight ends. That's totally fine. We're kind of punting Week 5 and Week 10, so don't mind grabbing some of those guys. I won't be focusing on those bye weeks, though, or on those weeks for building out super teams in correlation. But let's swing back over to the draft. Yeah, do a little bully ball, especially in these types of contests. I think this can really work. Goddard's probably not the best bully tight end because you're really hoping, I think, for a Smith or AJ injury to get those bigger spike weeks. I'll probably own a little bit less of him than some of the other elite tight ends. Like, I think you guys could even see that Waller went before him. And I think that's probably accurate. I think Waller probably has that high end range of outcomes more so than Goddard does. So Herzig, let's go check in on his team, what he's doing. So he's building out a little Atlanta backdoor. Interesting. So he's probably got a few quarterbacks that he could be going after late. I wouldn't be surprised if he just keeps hammering wide receiver or running back here. But yeah, really like this start from Herzig. He's got 10 more seconds. And then we'll swing back over to my sheet. Oh, yeah, let's get some music going. Hope everyone's doing all right out there on the interwebs. We'll be doing 2 of these drafts today. Come say hello if you're hanging out in the chat. Like, leave a comment, subscribe, do all the fun YouTube stuff. And let's play this one. This is kind of groovy. There you go. I don't know if that's too quiet, but I don't want it much louder than this. So Herzig went Cooks and Thomas. Interesting. I guess they do have that elite upside. Thomas is just kind of a weird player. Who did he take Thomas over? Oh, there's just not a – interesting. Over Flowers and Bateman is a little bit surprising. Maybe he's going for a little bit of NFC North build or NFC South build. And that way he was getting his – and also those are indoor teams, Cooks and Thomas playing indoors a lot. That's another thing to think about is getting guys who are playing, especially the skill position players who are playing indoors, who may have a little bit easier chance of going off. We could see that, especially if they have a bad defense. Not that Dallas has a bad defense, but we do know that New Orleans may not be an elite defense this year if everything goes as it's planned right now. All right, so we're up in a few. See who some of the guys on. I'm just using ADP right now. But based on my team, Dallas, Herbert, we got Herbert, Olave, Mike Will, QJ, Kelsey. So I need running backs and wide receivers unless there's someone that's really standing out to me. I am kind of focusing early on in the year. So maybe there is something to picking Arizona. Maybe not, though. See if there's anyone else that's really sticking out. None of these running backs. Yeah, let's go Connor because we are focusing on the beginning of the year so much. I do think they are going to ride him a little bit, so I don't mind grabbing Connor there. I probably will not grab White, though. But let's see what wide receiver. This may be a sky time to go with another Chief. I guess that's a question. If you're making that first round bet on Kelsey, yeah, actually it's probably not worth it to go more. I don't love Cortland Sutton. I haven't been taking him a bunch. He's not any of the bye weeks that I'm targeting of 1, 3. He does play Kansas City. Yeah, let's do that. He plays week 8 in Kansas City. So let's focus on Cortland Sutton. I like that play. And now let's go back over, as I said before, to my sheet. So now that I have these teams kind of squared away, definitely going after 8. I may even – no, I really do like 13. If there's one week that I want to give up of guys that I haven't taken so far, it's not going to be week 1. Yeah, let's take away week 13 and just focus on the first half of the year and maybe go after less rookies later on in my draft and more sure things. So right now, teams that I like, or I'm going after. We have Detroit, Tennessee, Miami, Dallas, Chargers, New Orleans, Chicago, Rams. All right, so Chicago's showing up a couple times, so maybe I can go after Chicago. Oh, New Orleans is one of the teams. Yeah, that's one of the teams I chose. So of the opposite teams, yeah, Chicago, Green Bay. So a lot of NFC North teams. Because that's the team. Sure, that's the division that they're playing. So 10 picks away. What I like doing is going in and starring the players on those teams. I can't have both up at the same time, but let me switch over. We have mine. So what do we say? Baltimore, no. Pittsburgh, no. Well, really, we just want to focus. If there's a quarterback that falls, let's keep an eye out. But I'm not going after a quarterback if they don't fall. Philly's not on my list, but I have made a bet on Goddard already and Dallas, so I don't mind if Penny's the guy. Lazard, I don't love. Jacksonville, we don't play Jacksonville. And this is where it kind of gets uncomfortable because you're going to be going in a part of the draft where ADP seems a little bit sus. So obviously A-Chain, Williams for New Orleans, especially when we're thinking about weeks 1 and week 3. Jamal Williams with the potential Kamara suspension could be a pretty valuable pick, especially when we're targeting that early part of the year. Same thing if like you're in BBM and you get Breece Hall. Nice to supplement him with Jamal. Because I'm kind of going all in on the first half of the season with this team, weeks 1, 3, and 8, I probably do want to prioritize Williams over, especially a guy like Kamara, but even a guy like Kendre, who I really like. Who did he already go? What's going on? Where did Kendre Miller go? Oh no, his ADP is 143. Wow, his ADP is lower in. I don't know. I don't like that. Okay, so we're on the clock. We're going to go A-Chain here. Miami plays the Chargers week 1. That's something we're going to be going after. I guess I don't love it being week 1 because I don't know how much A-Chain's really going to pop off there. But that's going to be my guy right now, especially at pick 118. I like that. Let's get A-Chain. Hope that Williams can fall. These teams have running backs next to them. So, oh, what's up? What's up, Hawk? How you doing? Good to see you. Healthy Rashad Penny is a hell of a drug. Yes, it is. And you know from our times on this podcast, we've drafted a bunch of him already, especially in the early years. So not getting him here, not the end of the world. But going to hope Jamal falls, going with my early season running backs that I'm trying to focus on. So I know I just took A-Chain, but I'm just such a big fan of his. It's hard for me to pass him up when he falls in this range, especially in this kind of format. You could totally see a game where the defense completely covers Waddle and Hill, and you get a bunch of underneath stuff available for A-Chain. So we get Jamal, which is great. Going with the New Orleans thing. If I know Herzig had he's going real zero QB. I don't want to snipe a quarterback from him, but if Carr's fallen, I do have a nice New Orleans build I can start making here. So to recap, we got Kelsey, Chris Olave, Tony Pollard, Mike Williams, Justin Herbert, Dallas Goedert, Quentin Johnson, James Conner, Courtland Sutton, Devin A-Chain, and Jamal Williams. So feeling pretty good at running back. We'll probably only take 1 or 2 more depending on how many quarterbacks I go. But really time to start hitting these wide receivers, which is usually the time in BBM drafts that I'm not hitting them. But I do think that there are some interesting picks in this range. So we still got a few picks. So let's start getting our queue ready. What's showing? So you guys can see that. So going back to our list, going down, I just like putting the guys in the queue. Are the Patriots on my list? They are not. Is Buffalo on my list? They're not. Well, I guess technically I'm just looking at these positions. Arizona is not on my list. Kansas City is on my list. Pittsburgh is not on my list. Van Jefferson is with the Rams. They played Dallas week 8. Really like him in this contest. Carolina. Nope, they're not on my list. MVS. Kendre is another guy I don't mind going after, especially with how heavy I'm investing in the Saints. Jacksonville, I'm not going after. Let's throw Derek in there just in case. I'll probably push him, though. I don't think I'll take him next round, especially if I can get these guys ahead of him. Pierce, Indy, plays New Orleans week 8. So let's actually have him above Carr. Although a New Orleans Carr build, and you can start building out Shaheed. Maybe make this a Herbert. No, I kind of like where I'm going with this 1-3-8. So let's not get off course. But this is something that I'm okay doing. If there's good value that falls, I'm fine switching up my strategy if I need to later on to adjust to that falling value and just build that team that way. So to kind of recap, going back to this sheet over here, what I'm really trying to do is focus on weeks 1, 3, and 8 and try and stack up the games I really like in those weeks. So I've already gone through, and in this format, I bolded and highlighted or underlined the top 6 matchups, or at least my favorite matchups in every week. And then I went in for every team and just made sure that they had at least 3 matchups in there. There are some teams like the Cardinals and maybe like the Texans I didn't even highlight. So just in case I did take one of those players, I wanted to make sure that I was stacking them on the weeks that I liked them the most. I'm going to go and update this in a few weeks once I get a little bit more of the over-under information. I have some sources coming in, some information coming in that has that information. I know that a lot of draft sites right now do not have that up. So I was really focusing on that. So I am thinking about maybe even just doing Pierce and Shaheed. Ooh, snipe me. Okay. You know what? Maybe I will build out this New Orleans build with Shaheed coming back, especially once I already have Jamal. So yeah, let's do that. Let's do Derek here. I know it's a reach, but again, with these quarterbacks, if there's a guy I want, I missed my pick. It scared me. Yeah, if there's a guy I want, I'm fine reaching for them and building around. So, Shaheed or Kendra here? I guess since I'm making the Carr bet, let's go in on Shaheed. I already have a little bit of coverage on New Orleans, but what's going on here? What's going on in the chat? You may not have copied your start. I think I'd like to say it's my start, but really it's just what the board gave to me. You know, that's just how I'm drafting. I think that's a smart way to do it in the beginning of draft. Just get the best values that show up. I think that's the way to go. Childs, I'm going to do another one right after this. If you want to get in the same draft, let me know. We can hop in. Get the Jaden bring back. You're saying Jaden Reed? For who? What does Green Bay? Oh yeah, because yeah, sure, because Green Bay's there. That would be really good. So I'm going to go him. So now, do you guys see my? No, you do not see my screen. So I'm going to go back, share this. I just took Derek Carr, and I just took Rashid Shaheed. So building out a pretty heavy Chargers Saints build. So what I actually might do now in this situation, because I'm making the bets on those two teams, scrap my start. Let's put all the weeks back up here, and let's just focus on the Chargers and New Orleans and creating as many natural bringbacks in matchups that I like as possible, specifically weeks 2. Uh, so obviously that first week. So Kyle Phillips is a guy I'm definitely going to be thinking about at the end of drafts. Tajay, no, I'm probably going to go Kyle. The other Titans guys are probably gone. Miami, I got A-Chain. Okay, so Minnesota, interesting. There was a time I think I could have taken Addison or Hawkinson, and I didn't. So if Osborne is not available, okay. So because it's early, that probably means the backups aren't going to be smashing at this time at running back. So maybe I go Chandler in a scenario where the Chargers go up and they need to put passing down back in Mini in there, or in Chandler in there. And then maybe we'll do, I like Jaden Reed if he can fall to me. Yeah, I'm putting him in my queue. That's a good call, Hawk. Also, no, I like Musgrave, but I think I have to be done at tight end with these bets. Yeah, I have to be done at tight end unless some ridiculous value falls. Ooh. All right, let's see. Keep an eye on Everett, but not going to force that, especially with the big bets I'm making at tight end. And I don't even really love Everett that much, so we'll see. Other guys, other teams that can stack up. Indy, we were talking about. Chicago, I think, was showing up a few times. Maybe they were playing against Dallas, so I don't mind going after a Claypool or someone like that. Let's check in on Herzig's team real quick. Perfect. Awesome. I'll review my team and we can try and find a time to sneak in. That'd be dope. All right. So, yeah, let's go back to, we see Herzig. Oh, so he took Everett. Great value there. I think that's fine. I wasn't planning on grabbing him. So now Herzig. Sorry about Michael Thomas. What are you doing at quarterback? So we got Kyler. Interesting. So maybe this is a end of the year team for him, but not a ton of rookies. Yeah, he has a few outs. Let me go back to the board. So he still has Jimmy, still has Brock to add. Wonder where Brock should be going in these drafts. Where did Dak go? Yeah, missed Dak, missed him. So yeah, he had to go get Kyler. He's probably hoping that he can get Ritter and a San Francisco guy. When you're not taking your first quarterback until the 13th round, I don't even mind going 4 quarterbacks in that scenario. Let's see if he goes 4 or just sticks with 3. Sorry about stealing Carr, but it's kind of hard for me not to go for him there. Yeah, I found myself in a weird NFC Southwest build around Kelsey. Yeah, so send me those teams afterwards. I can share them on here as well. So we're coming up in a few. Let's see if my guy Reed makes it to me. If not, let's go back, check out some of these other stacks. We said Buffalo, Rams, not here. Detroit, Baltimore. Nope. Minnesota, Indy. There's not a lot of guys here. Hoping I get Reed. And then, God, do I even go? Yeah, this is super tough on if I should go Juwan here. It'll be my 3rd tight end, which seems absurd. It is absurd. but he does correlate, and it does give me a lot of New Orleans outs. I think Reed can fall to me. No. Oh, this is my only out here. Let's do that. Taysom's already gone, right? Yeah. All right. If I don't get Juwan, not that big of a deal. I needed Reed more than him. All right. So New York Giants are on here late. So I would like Hyatt. I might even reach on him here. I think he's a guy end of the year could really hit. If I'm planning on having that be a big game of Giants Saints, I could see Hyatt going off. But if I do get Jawan Johnson here, that's going to be very tempting as well. Okay, let's do that. Probably not the best move since I'm kind of making the bet on Kelsey and Goddard, but I'm also making the bet on Derek Carr. So let's do this. Probably minus EV, but this is why we're messing around, making a few new builds. Oh, and he took Hyatt. Maybe he's listening. If you're in the chat, Mount Mr. Revolt, let me know. Otherwise, I just appreciate your drafting. You've taken a few guys that I like. So Tennessee, Spears would have been another really good pick there. It wasn't yet time to take another running back since I'm probably only going to go 5 running backs. Yeah, I guess now that I switched my strategy from weeks 1 and 3 primarily, I probably wish I had Kendre over Jamal, but those early weeks are still going to be important. I'm still going to be focusing on that. I still got Jaden Reed now for that bring back, hoping to get Kyle Phillips for the Tennessee bring back as well to start the year. Kyle Phillips had a really good start last year, looked really good in his first game before having a shoulder injury in practice before week 2. Tried to play through it. Tough guy. Looks like he put on some weight this year too, so excited to see what he can do. So what other teams can we focus on? Jacksonville, Kansas City, we already got some on. Indy, so I wouldn't mind Downs late either. So what do I got? I got 16, 17, 18. I got a running back and 2 wide receivers. So let me look at – obviously, if Spears makes it back, I'm definitely taking him. I don't think that's going to happen, though. Baltimore, end of the year Baltimore. Do I have another Baltimore by any chance? No. So, there's a Buffalo. So let's put Shakir on here. Let's put Edwards on here. Any New England guys? They're playing him, and it's beginning of the year too. Well, I guess I'm not going tight end. I'm definitely not going tight end. So let's take my first time doing this. There you go. Am I showing my screen? Yeah, good. 8 picks away. Miami, even though it's a little bit repetitive. Giants, we're talking about. I like Slayton. Chandler was the guy we were really going to push for, I think, especially because New Orleans plays mini and they play the Chargers. That's a team I'm definitely going to prioritize the Chandler pick. Maybe not over Spears. Okay, good. I didn't have to do that. But I will prioritize him over some of these other guys. And then I'll probably just finish off going wide receiver. So let's put some of the guys I was talking about. Downs in there. Week 8. Yeah, you could see him catching steam by week 8. Jacksonville, no one this range. Dallas, no wide receivers this range. Chicago, Claypool and Scott. Scott is one of those guys that I think I want to target those archetypes a little bit more than in BBM, where deep threat, big speedster, in maybe an offense that probably isn't going to produce a lot of spike weeks, but all you need is just one in this format. So I think Chicago had a couple correlations with Dallas and maybe even Kansas. Oh, they played New Orleans here too. So they have back-to-back weeks in there. So I don't mind that at all. Yeah, and now that I have new Juwan Johnson in week 10 as my tight end, I kind of feel like I can do a little something. Also Detroit in week 10, but I guess let's not focus on week 10 if we don't have to. But they also played New Orleans, so maybe put in. So let's go get Ty Chandler, and now finish off wide receiver. Josh Reynolds is an option. I guess, is there any? Meyer would be a fun pick. He's still available. Anyone else on Vegas available? Not a wide receiver, really. And then thinking about New Orleans, yeah, Tampa Bay, I don't want a lot of. Although, I'll probably go Downs here. Don't mind Palmer. You could get one or two big spike weeks later in the season. When does Tampa Bay? Oh, they're playing early, and then they play. Oh, they do play week 17 though. How are my other? Why is only two? Oh yeah. That makes sense. But that's not a great matchup for Herbert going up against Broncos defense. About to be on the clock. Yeah, it's a little bit weird of a build. When do I play Detroit? Is that earlier on? No, week 10. I was going to say maybe I don't mind Reynolds for early builds. Maybe I'll think about him later. But let's go Downs to start. Get that indie player. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Josh Downs. I was kind of letting him slide, but now that he's even in BBM getting into the 17th, 18th round, I think that's a really good spot for him. Yeah, because if you look at the Shane Steichen offense, one of the things that people were talking about is how many kind of quick hitting plays at the line of scrimmage off of read options there were, especially for guys like Devonta Smith, that they could find Josh Downs in similar role in the slot of just quick snap, hit him out to him in the flanker spot, and then let him get the ball in his hands and just go with it. And I think that's a really interesting dynamic to include. I forgot about Wandale. When do they play the Giants? So week 15 for New Orleans. Wonder when. Let's just bring up the Giants schedule right now. When do they play Dallas? Week 1 and week 10. Okay, so yeah, I'm losing Hyatt that first week. Going really heavy on the rookies though, which wasn't my initial plan going in. But you know what? I think that's fine. I don't mind doing that. Probably should have taken Wandale at the previous spot. Forgot he was on the board, but that's okay. If some of these other guys are our pick, I don't mind that as well. I guess, do I want to consider a wide receiver who may play a little bit more earlier on, or do I just load up on the Chargers? What do you guys, if you guys are listening still here, Childs and Hochberg, what would you guys do here based on what's on the board, what's in my queue? All of those guys are correlated in at least a game or two. I think I'm probably leaning towards Wandale or Palmer right now, but I can kind of do whatever. So we'll see what happens. But let me know what time you guys are good to hop in, and we can go hop in another draft as well. I'll probably do 8:15 if I don't hear from you, but keep me posted. Let's take a look at Herzig's team again. How'd he finish up? Ooh. Terrace Marshall, Saints bring back. I actually like that. And I don't have as much of him as I want. And he's not gone. Yeah, he's been getting some buzz. I kind of like that. Uh, that could just be like a really ugly game that has a lot of points in it too. Two defenses that aren't great. So let's see, when does New Orleans play Carolina? Week 2, and then week 14. So split up again, kind of beginning and end of the season, which are kind of what I'm going for. So I don't mind that. Let's do that. I needed a guy who can contribute right away. He can be contributed in week 2 for me in that matchup. And it's a Monday night game. So that'll be really fun watching that on Monday night with a little bit of sweat going if that one is the game that goes off. So, all right, going Marshall. Really like how the team turned out. Let me check in on you guys. Hop in 8:15. Hopefully you guys can hear me. We'll plan on hopping in at 8:15. I think I'll be a little bit ahead or behind you, so I don't want you hopping in at the same time as me. But going over my team real quick. Travis Kelce, Chris Olave, Tony Pollard, Mike Williams, Justin Herbert, Dallas Goedert, Quentin Johnston, James Conner, Courtland Sutton, Devin Achane, Jamal Williams, Derek Carr, finishing out my Saints stack with Rashid Shaheed and Juwan Johnson, Jaden Reed, with the bring back on a few matchups with Kansas City, New Orleans, and a few other guys, I think. Minnesota with the bring back with New Orleans in week 10. Indy was a bring back, as well as Carolina matching up with the Saints in those 2 matchups. So not my favorite team. Probably played it a little bit on the safer side. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this team maybe got like $20 of min cashing twice, which isn't what you're trying to do in these tournaments. But yeah, so Childs can't do 8:15. So Hochberg, if you're around, I'm going to hop in 2 minutes. But let's go look at Herzig's team. So we started Bijan, Adams, Brees Hall. Wow, getting Brees Hall at 36 in this format? That's really good. I'd be taking Brees probably around 28, 29. Yeah, like he's in that same tier as Pollard and Henderson. That's a great get. You're not going to get a ton of Bijan, Hall, Adams teams. So really good value there for Herzig. Debo, Pitts, Marquise Brown, Brandon Cooks, Michael Thomas, Antonio Gibson, A.J. Dillon, Jerick McKinnon, Rondell Moore, Kyler Murray, Desmond Ridder, as we suspected, Gerald Everett, Greg Dortch, Zach Ertz, Keontae Ingram. Interesting. So he only went 2 quarterbacks. So he was going very fragile on those offenses. Look who we have here.
Oh, hello.
Hello. How are you?
What's up?
How you doing, my man?
Dude, I'm wonderful. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for joining in. I thought this was going to be too early for anyone to join in, but glad you were able to make it.
No, all I got to do is sleep on my couch for the next 3 days.
Well, I'm glad you can trade weekly winter drafts for sex with your wife. So
I will always trade that, I guess. That's really sad that that's the way I feel. How to signal you might have a problem.
But I'm ready to hop in whenever you are. So
I'm just logging into Underdog on the computer. Yeah. So
take your wow, disregarding dad duties to stream. I love it. That's a child's.
No, my kid's asleep. It's just my wife that I'm disregarding.
Which, yeah, that's been expected that you would be doing that. So we don't have a problem with that. The kid, I may tell you to go put her to bed if she wasn't asleep yet. But on your count, whenever you want. I know Childs is probably busy putting kids to bed. I know Georgie's probably got a little bit better, later of a bedtime. So that's probably what duty Childs is on right now.
Fair enough. I'm good to drop in like 10 seconds. You want to go 10, 9, 8,
1.
7?
Let's go on 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hop in. All right, waiting for 6.
Waiting for 6. Yep.
Beautiful. So this will be fun. How many of these drafts have you done so far? Are there any strategies you like implementing so far, Hawk?
So this is only my third.
Okay.
So my big takeaways are you need a good quarterback, you need a good tight end. I prefer to bully ball. I'd love to have at least 2 of the top 10 tight ends in every draft, 1 to 2 top 15 quarterbacks. And from there, it's just I like to stack in division, and I like to stack a couple of out of division games that I like. So that's kind of where I'm at on everything. So
I like that. So we can. I'll be using my sheet for my team, but we can go through if there are some questions that you have. Do you have? Did you get the sheet that I?
I got the sheet you sent. I love that sheet.
Okay, perfect. So it's great to kind of go through and filter. I'm going to add, I think you may have missed the beginning of the stream, but I'm getting, I think, Warren Sharp's book, only because it's the only place that I can find right now that's going to have over-under totals for every single NFL game with the spread. So what I want to do is figure out the implied totals for every single game every week to figure out who are the projected highest scoring games and teams, and then within those weeks begin to target players in those games, since Vegas or the public thinks those are the ones who are, or at least Warren Sharp thinks those are the games that are going to go off. So let's see what happens. I'll update you when I get those numbers in the next week or so, but I like that strategy. Still waiting on one more. Everyone can see here. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, frankly, I'll be honest with you, Bob. I disagree with a couple of your takes on the schedule.
Yeah, tell me. We're all this is a work in progress, so there's going to be a lot of stuff I'm getting wrong. This is just my initial hunch, and please prove me wrong. I want to learn stuff. So
yeah, I think
you got 5, by the way. I'm at 10. Go ahead.
I like 5. I'm hoping to get. I would love a Tyreek Hill at 5 right now, because I think 6 is low for him. In this, he should be going, and not to discount Jamar Chase because he's an absolute stud, but in my mind, I would put Jefferson, Kelsey, Hill, Chase.
Wow. And I can see that because his spike weeks, especially when both of them are playing, when Hill and Waddle are playing, when Chase and Higgins are playing, Hill's spike weeks, I think, are higher than Chase's when everyone is playing. So,
Right.
But real quick, you see who got in the draft?
At 12, we got the silent log from the Viper.
Oh, man. Child,
Yes.
he's picking 12. So we got Ace Viper. We got a whole bunch of KLK guys in the draft today. So we'll see how this goes. We'll try not to step on each other's toes too much, but no promises from me. No promises.
Starting hot.
Woo! CMC at the 1-1. This guy. Okay. Here we go. He's just pushing all these guys down. So, if you get Kelsey,
Kelsey at 5 is great. Obviously not, but
yeah, but no, that because you want to try and push him as late as possible for a chance to get Pat. For a chance to get Pat coming back. So I'm probably going to be shooting for Cup or Diggs here. Obviously, Cup's going to go. Probably Diggs is going to go too.
I wouldn't mind Lamb. Lamb is great here. I think Devontae Adams is solid. Yeah, I'd take Lamb.
I might get.
You also have those Eckler games where he scores 8 touchdowns. So.
Yeah, I think I'm going to try and do Eckler. I have him a lot lower, but let's just make that bet and see if maybe I can get a full Chargers stack, and I can maybe just build around that. That may be my goal, is just doing solo Chargers and just pairing him up with that. So let's see what Childs does. He can go Smith and Hurts if he wants. He can go, just some of these wide receivers. I don't know if you want to take Chubb. Who would you take if you're Childs right here?
So if I'm Childs, I probably go Adams Wilson.
Adams, Wilson.
Or
think that's
I
probably,
grab an elite quarterback. Like I wouldn't mind him going Smith, Hurts. Yep, that's exactly what he
yeah.
did.
So I've done that a few times on this side of the draft. I think getting that stack could be really, really big. I really like both those players. If you have an AJ injury, that's just going to be massive.
Oh yeah.
Probably going to go Adams or Wilson here. I do like Waddle probably more, but let's see if I can throw him over to you because I don't need him. This is the same tier for me. So if I want Adams,
I don't think Waddle's
Wilson,
making it to me either way, man. Just saying.
yeah, I'm gonna throw all these guys in here. Let me look at Chargers schedule. I know
You're on the clock, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I'm probably gonna time out. Let's see. Do they play the Jets? They do. So I'm gonna move.
The Chargers do play the Jets, yeah.
They play
And
that
obviously
whole
you get
division.
Adams in division.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. But I don't love the.
Ooh, Ridley a little early. Who's that guy got with Ridley? Bijan with Ridley. I like that. All right, come on. Couple more. Here we go. I would love this fall. I don't think this combination is going to happen to. Nah.
It's not. Yeah, it's not going to
So I'm probably
happen
going to grab
very
Josh Allen here if he's available.
I'm assuming this guy, I think, has Diggs, who's up. I think he's going to take.
He has
no,
Brown.
he has. Oh yeah. So what did the Diggs guy do?
The Diggs guy went.
He went Adams. Interesting. I wonder how far. Okay, you just took Allen. Yeah, and that's fine. I really like that. I think that he could really go off there. I don't get taking.
Why wouldn't you do that stack?
Who? Yeah,
If you're Diggs, why don't you take Allen? It's like I get that AFC West plays AFC East, so you get a Devontae Diggs matchup at some point. But what week is that?
Which one?
The Raiders Bills.
Las Vegas, Buffalo. It's week 2, early on in the season.
Okay, but yeah, I don't love that because who knows what Jimmy's health is looking like by then. He may.
No, that's a really good point. I'd probably prefer Jacobs in that, but like again, no, take Allen. Like I don't know how often we're going to be able to get these stacked options. I think the quarterbacks are going to keep moving up, and I think the guys that you stack them with are also going to keep moving up in the first round. So if you have an opportunity to get that stack, just do it. Later on, you might not even have it, and you can build out. You can get Diggs, Adam, probably almost like whenever you want to. So, yeah, don't really love that. But real quick, going back to us, we got Eckler, Wilson here. I'm looking for a Charger build, so probably going to get a little bit greedy. Again, when I'm starting these drafts, I'm just trying to pick the best players available, and then I'll go build from there. But
I see this every time. I feel like I got to go Brees or Ramondre here.
Yeah, I like Brees. I think that upside, especially you already have the NFC or the AFC East correlated, so I don't mind just building that division out and hoping for as many of those stack games. Plus, I really like those offense. I guess what you're saying, Ramondre is another option there, but
right, because you get
the same kind of concept. Yeah, I guess those both would have been fine, but there's just something about Brees and his just running back one overall upside every single week when he's healthy that is just so significant. I think it's hard to pass up. So what's your team looking like again? So you're going to AFC East. So I was just looking at my on screen right now. Yeah, let me switch over. So this is the lineups. This is the matchups for each conference. So you have the AFC East. So you're playing the AFC West and the NFC East. So that's 2 divisions that you should kind of focus on matching up with those AFC East guys. I think that could be a strong stretch. But let's go back. Share this tab. Oh, I'm on the clock. What am I doing? I think I have Keenan. Okay, good. So we still got Keenan. Wow, Higgins is there though. Yikes! I'm going Higgins. Sorry.
You got to go Higgins. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, like there's something to be said about correlation, but there's also just like value.
Yeah, and I still have the option to go and get Burrow with him too. So like the fact that Watson went over Higgins, like I think we're thinking about this too much, guys. So I would really,
I like
really
the
like it.
week 17. Oh,
That's okay though. That's okay if or are you saying for Childs? No, it's okay. If I want Burrow here, so
no.
uh
Yeah, I mean for you to not get Allen, but you'll still be able to get Johnson and Williams with, and hopefully Herbert if you want him. But I love what Childs is doing.
so
I
what did
love
Childs
what
do?
Childs is doing.
Terry and Debo. So he's got Jalen, and he's just going for the elite wide receivers with him. And I wonder, interested. So they play week 17. So in like a scenario like that, I don't know when Philly plays San Francisco. Washington, I think, is week 8 and week 10, or somewhere on the earlier side. San Francisco actually, I think, is later. So Childs, if you're in the chat, I haven't been checking. If
Week
you're in the chat,
13.
what? Yeah. So they play week 13.
Week
Interesting.
13
So,
in Philly.
all right, so I got Burrow here, so I'm 100% going Burrow with Higgy. Both past ADP. Really like that. Herbert's probably not going to make it back to
Probably
me.
not.
And probably not worth pushing it anyway. But let's go back to the board. Am I sharing the board or am I sharing? Oh, no,
You're
I'm sharing
sharing your sheet.
My bad, guys.
I think I might just take a best available guy here.
Let's see. Is there anyone that's really sticking out to me? Cooper and Judy are really sticking out. I'd probably take Judy, especially with your AFC West correlation.
Yeah, I think that's
that or Mike Will, whoever you prefer.
I like Judy just because I have a big Chargers build already. I want a little more uniqueness, and that's good ADP for Judy.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And you can build out a backdoor Jarrett Stidham build as well, which is always a plus.
No one wants to do that.
I do. I'm going to have like probably 7% Jarrett Stidham in this contest by the end of it. I love Jarrett Stidham. He's going to be playing at the end of the season. I think a lot of my lineups are going to be focused on the second half of the season, going 0 running back, trying to get a little unique like that. But naked Herbert. Or he thinks he's going to take Williams probably. But like in that scenario, why don't you just go make sure you take the wide receiver? Yeah, because now you don't get the wide receiver. So now you're going to have to reach on Johnston to make sure
you're correlated.
Yeah, or else I don't love that. You got to go Williams first, then Herbert, especially when Herbert was so high. You knew that because who was the inside there? You knew that the guy from the 1 spot wasn't taking him, and it didn't make sense for the guy in the 2 spot to take him. Yeah, they got to take Williams there. I didn't like that. So he's going to try and build out his cousin stack now with TJ and Jefferson there. But you're on the clock in a few picks. Who are you thinking about?
I'm going to take Gabe Davis early here just to make sure I get him. Because I don't pick again till 68. His ADP 68.3. He's a good boomer bust guy naked. So I'm just going to make sure I go get him right now.
I like that. So all right, so you got a few guys coming around that I like. Wide receivers are going off fast again. There's going to be some running back value, though, at the turn for Childs and I. Let me make sure I'm not stepping on his toes with anybody. He's just doing his own thing. So up in 3 picks. So you got Gabe. I think that's smart. Just lock him in. There's no reason to push.
ADP's a myth, dude. Like there's no reason to.
Especially in this tournament, and even so in BBM. One of the things when I was going through the regular season that I figured out from 2021, this happened more frequently, where there was a lot of players in like the 9th, 10th round that were pretty good, probably even better than a lot of the 7th and 8th round picks. Okay, hold on one sec. I kind of know what Childs is doing. So Cincinnati plays Seattle, so I'm probably going to go Walker. They play the Chargers, or no? They do not play the Chargers. That's okay, though. And then the Jets, they do not play. But I'm going to go Kenny here and see what comes back to me. and by see what comes back to me, I mean take Kyle Pitts if he's there.
There you go.
Um,
I'm praying that I get Waller at 68. I'm hoping he falls a little bit.
I think you can. I'm assuming Childs is going to go Ayuk, who I thought he was going to maybe go Kittle and try and build out a San Francisco team. So he goes Ayuk, and he takes Matty. Yeah, Matty's a nice fall there. I don't hate that.
Especially in a hero RB situation, that is clearly what he's building out.
Yeah. Yeah, zero. No, that's a zero running back build in this kind of format. So
Yeah.
I guess Childs in that kind of scenario, would you want to keep? Hold on, I'm on the clock.
Oh, snipe on Pitts. That sucks.
Damn, that sucks. All right, so we'll just keep going here. I'll build out Seattle maybe, and maybe do a double. When do they play? Week 6. Yeah, let's go here. I have too much JSN. I think he's my highest owned weekly winner player. So let's mix it up with some Lockett right now. Wow, 64 for Richardson. So QBs are flying right now. So let's see. Damn.
Snipe on that. When do Buffalo in Philly week 12? Is that too late to go grab Goddard?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
I think I grab Goddard, and I think I try to get a Ingram type guy. Maybe if Godwin's still there, which he won't be, I'll just grab him. But I actually like Evans in this format better than Godwin.
I think that's a great point. And honestly, I'm starting to like Evans even a little bit more in redraft. They're probably about the same, but I think I heard a stat that Mike Evans has had 8 or 9 straight 1,000-yard seasons. And I could see them just focusing on getting him another one. I don't think they're going to be very good, but I wouldn't be surprised if he finishes with 1,000 yards and you get a few of those big spike weeks either in the beginning of the year or the end of the year, and he really goes off. So I really like Mike Evans, especially in this format. It's probably going to be tough to see him fall that far, but I think that would be great. Let's see if who had Herbert? Yeah, let's see if this guy, if Grayson goes Quinton here. Wow, he got JSN at 70, which I really like. I was considering.
There's Evans gone.
Yeah, so that's the McMeads. Interesting little build. Yeah, so he went Quinton right away. He knew exactly what he was doing there. So you're about to be on the clock in a pick. Yeah, a few guys you could go. It's weird seeing Pittman on the board with Richardson.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of liking Jahan Dotson here or DeAndre Swift. I think Swift is probably my guy.
Swift, especially you have Goddard already, right?
Yeah.
So you're kind of making that bet anyway. Interesting. So I already got a lot of week 5 and week 7 guys. Maybe I could just focus on those weeks. No, there's not enough guys there. All right. Who am I liking in this range? I could kind of go whatever position. These tight ends are really flying. I think I'm going to try and push it, though. Maybe I'll go 4 tight ends late, throw some dart throws at some guys I like, see if any of them can hit. But, so Pickens, Montgomery, Pacheco, Cooks. Let's see. Do we have Kansas City play Cincy week 17? Pittsburgh. Oh, yeah. No, we're going Pickens for that correlation. You get week 16 and week 12. All right, Pickens it is. Get some big touchdowns from him. Let's see what Childs does on the turn. He needs a running back, and he's also with me in no tight end, so let's see what he does. But yeah, you're liking this contest, though? Do you like this one more than BBM or less? Oh, man.
I think it's probably my favorite contest just because, BBM, there's one structure, right? You got to correlate to week 17 to really have a shot at winning the whole thing. here it's like it's any given Sunday, man. Like anything could happen in this contest, and you can literally build to any week. Like right now, even though Brees is on bye, I'm probably focusing on week 7, where you have Miami playing Philly, and you have Buffalo playing in New England, which I love. And it's late October, so it's not snowing yet. It's just cold enough to be like, fall, but like it's actual fall weather in the Northeast at that point.
Yeah, I think there are only 13 games on the slate that week as well because there are 3 week 7 buys. Weird part of the draft. I may just go Ingram here for the tight end value.
I like that actually.
Let's see. Do they play? Yeah, and since he plays Jacksonville, but they also play Cleveland twice. Is that during the regular season? Did they play week 18? Yeah, let's do that actually.
Yeah, I'm actually missing a Buffalo-Miami matchup because that's a week 18.
And it's another week 5 bye, which I like. So cool with that. Probably a little bit of a reach, but I really don't mind that. Especially at that position. So, yeah, this is a really interesting build. Let's recap our teams right now. Hawkberg's got Tyreek Hill, Josh Allen, Brees Hall building out that AFC East. Jerry Jeudy because they play the West. Gabe Davis, Dallas Goedert, and DeAndre Swift. They also play NFC East, right? Did I have that right? That's what the
they play NFC East.
Yeah, so that's really fun getting those games correlated and stacked up. Childs, he went white there. Okay. Devontae, Jalen Hurts, Debo, Terry McLaurin, Brandon Ayuk, Alexander Madison, Brandon Cook, and Rashad.
You mind if I grab Ingram? Is that
who?
Me.
What? Oh yeah, I'm not taking Ingram.
That's my bonus. That's my bonus game for AFC East is AFC South.
Oh, nice. Okay, so you also have a Jags game in there for some of those teams at least.
I have a Jags game, and then my big week 7 Jags are in the dome at the Saints, which I love for Ingram because you get. I'm so glad you're taking Eagles, man.
No, mad.
Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I took 2.
And to be fair,
I'm done taking Eagles if that helps.
Goddard wasn't making it back to you. The Swift one may have made it back to him, but even so, I know you're being a little facetious there, Childs. But that wasn't the DeAndre Swift pick wasn't a big deal. Draft on your own, then. How about that? And then
if it wasn't me, it'd be someone else.
Exactly. To recap my team. Austin Eckler, Garrett Wilson, T. Higgins, Joe Burrow, Kenneth Walker, Tyler Lockett, George Pickens, David Njoku. So kind of focusing in on the AFC North as well as some other good spike week players. Right now on my sheet, not really sharing it because there's not a whole lot to look at. But what I'm doing is I basically just have the Bengals schedule up, and I'm trying to get guys that are playing in bolded games against the Bengals. In week 5, I'm not really going for. Week 7, obviously on bye, so not going to be targeting Arizona, but Cleveland, Baltimore, Rams, Seattle, Buffalo, Houston, Jacksonville, Indy, Minnie, and KC I'll be going after. So Hawks on the board, got a few seconds left. JMO's interesting. Javonte also in conference, yeah.
I was between Javonte and Cortland, and I went Javonte.
Yeah, Javonte, especially. How many running backs do you have? So now you got 3.
That was my third.
And so this is something to think about. The way this is with Brees Hall and Javonte both slowly coming back from injury, I might want to focus on some younger players for the second half of the draft that probably have a better chance to pop with Brees Hall and Javonte when you're assuming they're going to be healthier. So I'm
just betting on them being back by week 7. You have Green Bay, which I don't think has a particularly good run defense, in Mile High week 7. And then Brees is on bye, which sucks. But Swift is playing against the Dolphins.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go JMO here.
I love that.
Obviously, you're missing the first 6 weeks, but I got a pretty decent wide receiver core, and I'm probably only going to have like 6 wide receivers on this team the way it's starting to build out. Did Tyler Boyd already go? Yeah, I think he did. That would have been a really nice pick. When did Boyd go? Oh, he went 95. Yeah, Boyd would have been a really nice pick. But I got running back outs with Cincy. I got tight end outs with Cincy still. I may go Sky or P. Ryan. Week 9, Buffalo. That's a pretty big game, though. So I think I'd prefer Sky if I could, and maybe grab a Buffalo guy late. Actually, maybe I will go P. Ryan here.
I like P. Ryan.
Yeah, but I guess it goes with like, when do you think he's going to pop? Is he going to be at the beginning of the season or the end of the season? I guess I was thinking about that because of Eckler. Now you know what? No, I'm going to go Muth and just go my double tight end and just be done at tight end, and maybe even add on Kenny Pickett if he falls later. But kind of making that bet again on the AFC North, really don't mind adding him. And I still got room for an Irv Smith or someone late if I want to. This might just be a solo Burrow team as well.
I would absolutely love to see Allen Lazard fall here.
Never heard that before. But I think he could in this format. But you know what? If you miss him, you still have outs with Hardman and Corey Davis late. So wouldn't be the end of the world. I still –
if I miss him here, I think I'm going A-Chain and calling it a day. Because this is clearly a little bit of a later missed on A-Chain, got Lazard.
That's fine. Yeah, I like that. And there's still a chance one of these other running backs might – actually, but you already got 3 really strong running backs, so there's no reason to
if anything, I'm probably looking at Juju or Jacoby right here to round out that receiving core a little bit.
And just remember at the same time, you got a lot of outs at the end of draft with Buffalo too, so I would at least save 1 or 2 picks at the end of the draft. Are you going to go one quarterback with Allen?
I think so.
So you can probably do – I'm not good with the numbers here, but let's say you're done with those 3 tight ends / quarterbacks and you have 15 skill players. You could do like a 6-9 build. I don't think you need more than 6 running backs with this build, but you can probably do a 6-9 build and get away with having a lot of those later guys that I really like. So I may take Pickett if he falls, but I like going that one quarterback route and just seeing, hey, when's that Higgins-Burrow game going? Okay, can you get everything else that falls with it when you need that Burrow-Higgins game? Or for you, the what was your stack? Because you didn't have Diggs.
It's kind of just AFC East, but I guess it's really leaning Buffalo-Philly.
Okay, yeah. Which is
Miami-Philly.
2 great offenses. And that's the thing in this kind of tournament. Like, I would much rather have, like, a bad wide receiver on Miami than, like, a Darnell Mooney kind of thing. Like, unless I got Fields, like, I just don't see the amount of spike weeks and the level of spike week that you're going to get from some of these lower-tier offenses. So that's why I like going Cincy, Los Angeles, or Chargers, Seattle, even the Jets to an extent, Seattle. Pittsburgh, someone I'm hoping can take that next step. But for the most part, I'm going after these offenses that I really think can make a big step. So you're up.
Interesting board.
Yeah. Am I still on?
I got a lot of running back talent here. Maybe it makes sense to just go grab like a Brian Robinson right now. I mean, I don't necessarily need the back, but just good value. He could pop a week or 2. It makes sense given that's an NFC East play.
I'd go Gallup with your NFC East play, but
that makes way more sense. I didn't see him down there.
Oh,
no! I hate it when that happens. Oh, that's so irritating. Oh, I can see Childs just laughing right now.
He's like, why did he take – so So yesterday, last night in my stream,
terrible.
last night in my stream, I took P Ryan at like pick 84 or something because I had just finished smoking and I was really thrown off by the draft board and immediately regretted it.
God damn it. That sucks.
I'm sorry, brother. That's a tough one.
Well, that's look, that's why we play the game. That's why we buy in way too many teams is to allow mistakes like that not to ruin us.
Yes, no, it's true. We need it, or else we start going crazy. I may go Mitchell here just for the hey, what if McCaffrey gets hurt and he's the guy you need later in the season? I'm making a big bet on Eckler and Walker. I know Childs actually might want him, so now I'm thinking about if I can push another player. I don't want to take Gallup from you. Sorry, Childs. I think you wanted Elijah, but I needed a running back like that.
What do you mean? You can? I'm not. Gallup is not getting back to me.
I don't know. He might. There's a lot of teams that got wide receivers here.
I would think that. Oh well, he already has Cooks, so he's probably not taking them. But
does Cincy play Dallas? No. Yeah, that's a good value, but I'm not gonna chase that. Did Nico go?
There he is. Yeah.
Oh, Nico
Childs took him. He should have taken him. That's a good NFC East play. If you're stacking, because you could have that Philly Dallas matchup where Gallup and Smith both go off.
True. That makes a lot of sense. Interesting. I didn't see Brian Robinson at the top of my list. I probably would have taken Robinson over Mitchell if I saw him.
We were just talking about him 2 seconds ago.
I know. I just thought that I was just looking at the top of my queue. I guess I didn't scroll up all the way. I'll review the tape. We'll do better next time. Then if I'm looking here, I don't mind Rice.
That was a crap pick to miss. Come on, Sam. Better than that.
Houston. If Rice is there, maybe Warren to build out more of that. So he took Goff. I wasn't even thinking about Goff. Let's do Rashi as the KC.
I like Rashi because when do they play? They're week 17. Yeah.
Week 17, and then but then Chargers play them as well. I don't think they play them the last week of the season. Chargers play them because I got Eckler, so that's why I was thinking about it. Oh, maybe they do. They play in week 7. Oh, I think they do play in week 18. So I'm missing out on. I only get one of those games in the Chargers Chiefs matchup. So that's interesting to think about going forward. But let me go back to. All right, so you're on the clock. So what are you thinking of? Or you're about to be on the clock.
I'm going to go Thornton.
Ooh, I like that. Do you think you could push him? Yeah, do you think you could push him? That would be my only question. There's a few other wide receivers in this range that are half decent too.
There are, but no one who correlates for me. And then if I miss, I can go get Marvin Mims on the back end and have like a little Denver build.
Yeah. Hey, what did I say about Stidham? Last pick Stidham. Come on, man.
I could always do that. There's no downside for me in doing that. I'm certainly adding Mims into here because I think he may be. Everyone's giving Tim Patrick flowers to start the year, but I don't know about that.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's definitely worth consideration in this area. So yeah, you're up again in a few picks. You looking at MVS or now is maybe when you make that. Oh, so you took Thornton there. So
I took Thornton there. I think I'm either going to take MVS or Mims because I also like MVS to be like one of those pop week guys. Stretches the field nicely. He's got good size. And with Tony Kelsey kind of being more possession based guys, I think he could really do some damage.
Yeah, I like that a lot too. So yeah, you're up in a few. Let me go to the board here. Review some of these other teams.
Oh, he's gone. I guess Mims it is.
Yeah, and really Mims, even at 149, like you're probably not getting him at 164, so it's really not much of a reach. This guy does have some Broncos. Okay, you're good. Yeah, Mims is a really good pick. I really like him. Building out more of my team, though, probably going to go a guy like Algier if he's there.
I like Algier a lot for your team.
If not, this is a situation where I have a lot of correlated guys, although DPJ did just get into my view frame. I have a lot of guys that I like, so I don't need to be correlated. And I like this like Pierce, Shahid, DPJ mold of a guy that could just win deep once or twice in a game and kind of pay off that way. I also don't mind Ford for the AFC North correlation that I'm kind of going for with some of these builds. I think that's going to be something I go after. All right, so I'm on the clock here. Let's push running back. Osborne, do they play Mini or New Orleans? Cincy? I think they play Mini late. Yeah, let's go Osborne. A little Week 15 magic again.
I like that.
And I took Shahid last time too. So let's go Osborne. A little correlation Week 15. I'm gonna bring back.
What do we think? What do we think DC is going to do here? If I'm him, I probably am going.
He needs some tight ends and wide receivers. So let's see.
Perfect time to go get him.
Yeah, I would probably double up on tight ends. I'd probably go Higbee and
why not get Schultz? It's good value.
Yeah, Higbee and Schultz. Schultz is just kind of weird because it's like, yeah, is he going to finish as a tight end one a lot? Probably. Is he going to finish as the tight end one a lot? That I don't know. That I'm a little bit worried about. So let's see what Childs decides to do. Higbee is probably my tight end I'd take above Schultz, but I like both of them. Honestly, if Taysom Hill, did Taysom Hill already go?
Yeah, I believe so. He's going earlier.
Wow, he's in the 11th round. He was going like the 15th round. I think there's going to be some day one teams from this tournament that really smash. I think that there were some weird ADPs going on and people not quite sure what was happening in the draft. It was like, I'm just going to take ADP. That wound up not working out too well. So hoping I get one of these running backs here. Childs finishes with Higbee and Everett. Okay, so he did not like Dalton Schultz, which I kind of understand when you're looking for like that top output in BBM. Definitely taking Schultz over those guys, but for that top output, I don't mind it. And also, did he have any AFC West? No.
No.
The NFC.
But he does have a lot of NFC East. No, sorry, NFC East is AFC East, right? AFC West is AFC East and who?
Now I'm unsure. I'm going to push forward here and go Algier, hoping that, not hoping, but in a contingency matter of if Bijan gets hurt, I think he could really smash. I don't think since he plays Atlanta, but I'm not too worried about that kind of correlation. So, all right. So, yeah, Ford didn't last. You want the next pick. So you're up in next pick. What are you thinking about here? You're on.
Well, I was thinking Curtis Samuel, but now that he's gone, I think I'm going to go. I'm going to go Shakir just to make sure I get him.
I like it.
And then if I can get Campbell on the way back, I'll take him.
I like it. I like that a lot. Because the Giants, the Giants go with your NFC East builds. So you already have Mims.
Yes. So I'm going to 1-4-7-2. So realistically, I'm taking 2 and 2 to close out.
Yeah. So we got 4 picks left. So you're thinking about going 2 running back, 2 wide receiver?
2 running back, 2 wide receiver, yeah.
I like that. So you do 1, 2, or 1, 6, 9, 3 build. I think I might be doing
1, 6, 9, 3. Yeah.
Maybe if I'm taking running back here, which if you don't take Spears, maybe no, but Spears might not even fall.
I'm not touching Spears in this one because I don't have any. The Titans, Titans
actually,
play Miami, I think, is their bonus scheme. Yeah, it's Miami is their bonus game week 14. I guess I could, but
Yeah, and it's not a big game for me, but since he does play Tennessee there, so I wouldn't mind that correlation.
again, I'm taking Campbell as long as he's there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Knox for that Buffalo correlation. Super excited. That's a Monday night game, I believe. No, Sunday night game. Buffalo against Cincinnati in Cincinnati. Kind of a makeup of the Week 17 game last year. So there goes
No.
Spears. Wouldn't mind Knox. Probably going to go get an 18th round Bill wide receiver as well. So honestly, I think I like Jalen Hyatt. I was talking about this in the last draft. I think I like Jalen Hyatt over Campbell. In this format, I think Hyatt is the deep threat that can. Okay, well, maybe I just
don't have to worry about it now.
Yeah, I like Hyatt.
But yeah, you're right. I am gonna go for Hyatt right now
because that's the higher upside guy. Like if you were only focusing on like weeks 1 through 6, I'd probably say, yeah, go Paris Campbell. He's probably got that higher chance of going off. But you're kind of doing a full season mix and match with 2 different divisions. I think I like Hyatt for end of the season to really go off. I could see him getting the 20-point spike week and that being the week that you really need a guy like that. So super interesting to see all these quarterbacks falling. I feel really stupid reaching on Derek Carr last time after seeing him fall, but I don't think he was going to make it past what's his name, Herzig in the last draft. So I'll take Knox here. If he falls down, goes there, that's fine. So I'm going to be done at tight end with Knox. I could see a few scenarios that he. You know what? I could also see Gesicki. So maybe I'll push it, and I think I'm going to go Baltimore because I don't have any Baltimore bringbacks with Cincy, and they play week 2 and week 11. So let's go Gus Edwards right before the timer went out, and I'm fine with Knox or Gesicki. No, actually, I don't love Gesicki because I don't play the Patriots. So let's hope Knox falls. If not, we'll figure it out. Hopefully, Childs gets Purdy right here. That'd be really nice.
I think he will. Yeah. Devontae Parker is a guy I wanted.
Parker's a nice little grab there. So Childs took Knox for me, which is totally fine. I might be still just okay going those 2 tight ends actually and doing a similar build to you. So if I have a running back and 2 wide receivers to take. I don't love the running backs. Let's get weird at wide receiver. Maybe do they play the Giants? Well, I've definitely taken Buffalo late, which is week 13, who plays Jacksonville. So don't go Jacksonville. So maybe I will go Wandale and just hope for an end of the season. Actually, maybe not. I'll leave Wandale. Let's get weird. Oh, I got to switch over. It's hard to remember that. Okay. Gesicki is still there too, or Musgrave. Does Cincy play Green Bay? Love that. No. Do they play Dallas? No. Oh, you know what? I'll probably wait. I don't need it. Shoot. You know what? I'm just going to go Chandler again. Uh-oh. No. All right. I took Gesicki, which is fine. I was thinking about that. So done at tight end. So I'm going to have, I guess if you're me, do you go 6 running backs or 9 wide receivers? I'm taking at least 1 Bill wide receiver. You're on the clock right now, actually. So you take Wilson. I like that, especially with your AFC East build. That's a really easy pick for you to make there. What are you thinking about my squad with Eckler, Walker, Mitchell, Algier, Edwards? Do you feel like – I feel like that doesn't need another running back.
I would agree with that because let's be honest, if you're missing on Eckler or Walker or Mitchell barring he becomes the guy. I think this Dobbins thing could play dividends for if you're Gus Edwards. They're not going to pick up anyone else. Algier again could be the guy in certain situations if anything happens to Bijan, which hopefully it doesn't. I don't think I go like just what running back on the board. Actually, I might double dip on you. Do you have NFC South correlation here? Like, why are you looking at? Does AFC North play NFC South?
No, I was just picking for the Atlanta one. I was just picking backup running backs where I'm like, if they get the job, could they explode? Yes. Okay, I choose him. That was kind of my thought for him. He was my only.
In that vein, you could totally have a situation where Cordarrelle Patterson goes fucking bananas one week.
That is true. Yeah, so maybe.
Oh, someone took Israel. Why you do that to me, brah?
Interesting.
I don't like this McMead's team. The other team I really do like, though, is this Red Daddy team.
You talking about me?
Always.
I'm kidding. Yeah, let's go to the board. Or actually, let's go to the board real quick. Red Daddy, CD, Rob, Allen, ETN, Kittle, Pitts. And he got Dak at 110. Wow. Sutton, Pacheco, Montgomery, and he got Goff. So this is an interesting little week 17 build out. Yeah, no, he's got a lot of fun players on there. It's very even. Probably need another running back. Maybe not, actually. We're up in a couple. So if I went Cordarrelle here and then I go Bills wide receiver next, or is there another player?
Sheffield's going to be there, and he's your guy, right?
Yeah, it's him or Hardy. I think I took Hardy last draft, so maybe I will take Sherfield. But yeah, I kind of like doing that, of making the anti-Bijan bet and just picking out the spike weeks of Algier and Patterson, and then let's go Bills. We'll go Sherfield or Hardy, maybe even shorter if we're feeling spicy. But yeah, let's see how Childs closes this out.
I love Childs going 1 QB with Hurts. I think he stays there unless.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't hate him for taking Purdy. He could absolutely have a monster.
Is Purdy still there? I think with two
Jordan
stacked players.
What is going on here?
With 2 stacked players, I would 100% take Purdy here. Come on, Childs. Take Purdy. Don't. I just feel like you're giving yourself another out the whole season with adding Purdy. Well, we think it's the whole season, at least for chunks of the season. You're giving yourself extra outs that week. If you don't have a double stack, I just say screw it. But because he already had Ayuk and Debo and some correlation around them with the Washington for week 17, I think obviously the Rams he's playing against. So yeah, I really like that pick. Someone else heard you with the Jordan Love one. That was really good getting JordanOve there. So that's Red Daddy.
Boy, Red Daddy.
That's your guy. Did he have any Packer players to?
No, he did not.
In the 20th round, though, that's totally fine. It's so funny to see Kyler going 17th here. I think Kyler went in the 13th or the 14th. Yeah, I think it was at the 13-14 turn because the guy there just needed to take a quarterback, and Kyler was the only guy. These drafts are so weird. So Kenny Pickett, not even drafted. So actually, I already took Sherfield, so I guess I don't think about it. But Kenny Pickett would have been interesting there too because I had Pickens and Freiermuth, but I probably did need another wide receiver there, and I do like Sherfield as a deep kind of could have put up a 20-point week any given week. So don't mind that. Probably wish I had Pickett in hindsight, but all right, let's recap your team. Yeah, let's go to your team.
I'm on the clock.
Yeah.
Who do we like best here? Strong, Michael Carter, or Josh Kelly? to close it out.
Strong. I like Strong a lot. I think he could really explode. With the Chargers, I still think Spiller could be involved. I don't really want to touch the Chargers backfield. And who's the other one you said? I did like the second
Michael
one.
Carter. I have Brees already, and I'm already kind of playing that week 7 could be the week. So I think Strong is the move.
Yeah, and I think there's a chance that Michael Carter gets moved. I would actually think there's a very strong chance he gets moved. They obviously didn't like him last year. Zonovan Knight had a really good end of the year. And they already have Brees, and they took Izzy. So it seems like if Brees is healthy, I wouldn't be surprised if Carter gets moved or gets moved whenever Hall gets back before the trade deadline. But yeah, let's review these teams real quick. I don't want to keep us too long. I got a BBM. I'm going to go do an underdog cardio club in like 20 minutes. We're on underdog all night tonight. If you want to hop in and draft at 9:30, I'll probably be drafting right at 9:30. But real quick, for Hawks team, we got Tyreek Hill, Josh Allen, Brees Hall, Jerry Jeudy, Gabe Davis, Dallas Goedert, DeAndre Swift, Evan Ingram, Javante, Allen Lazard, Mostert, Tyquan Thornton, Marvin Mims. Really like these wide receivers in this range. Tyquan Thornton, Marvin Mims, Khalil Shakur, Jalen Hyatt, Wandale Robinson, all guys that have that take the top off the defense speed. Jeff Wilson and then Pierre Strong. 2 really fast guys as well. And Raheem Mostert. Tons of speed. This is a really fun team. I really like this team. I think I like this team better than my team right now. Josh Allen teams are fun when you can start building out Gabe and some of those other later guys and not feel as bad about reaching on some of them. I really like it. Any other comments to add to your team right now?
No, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out, right? Like, I probably could have swapped Brees for Ramondre, and I wouldn't have felt bad about that either, but I don't have a lot of Brees. So I'm
do you have any other Jets?
I got Lazard. Right?
Okay, so you do have Lazard. And I was going to say, because I knew you took Strong, so I wasn't sure if – so you have 2 and 2 of each, so I think that's fine. Child, if you have any comments on your team, let me know. I'm going to read over my team first, and then I'll read your team and any comments that you might have about your squad. So Austin Eckler, Garrett Wilson, T. Higgins, Joe Burrow. Really like getting T and Joe there. That will be a
value.
Yeah, and especially being on this side of the board, like I think a majority of these teams with Burrow and especially T and Burrow are going to be going probably in this 1 through 4 range. So I really like getting him over here. Kenneth Walker, Tyler Lockett going up with Seattle, Pittsburgh, and Cleveland, or blah, blah, David Njoku. Wow, I'm just naming the players. So Pickens, Njoku, Jamison Williams, Pat Freiermuth, Elijah Mitchell, Rashee Rice, KJ Osborne, Tyler Algier, Gus Edwards, Mike G, Cordell Patterson, and Trent Sherfield. Don't love it. It's a smattering of some weird players. I'm really just making the bet on Eckler, Higgins, and Burrow, and then or Wilson, Higgins, and Burrow, and seeing if I can find a unique team that fits with those 3. Any comments on my team before I go check out Child Squad?
I like it better than you seem to like it. It really wasn't a bad squad by any means. Like you got some really great top end talent. I think the Higgins Burrow combination is phenomenal. You got good value on Lockett, good value on Jamison at 106. I think he's going to rise, in this format because he's a guy who can go out and score 40 points in a week if he really has a take the top off kind of day. I don't love your tight ends. If I'm being honest, I don't really think you have a tight end that can score. Maybe Njoku could be a top scoring tight end for a week, but that's on a bad week.
I'll push back. I think Freiermuth has that upside. I shouldn't have taken Gesicki probably, but I do really like Pat this year. I think that he's going to have some spike weeks. He had a pretty big target share. If this offense gets a little bit better, I think he was hurt as well for part of last year, so I don't mind it. The Njoku one I actually do think is a little bit too flourish for probably where I took him, especially because they have so many weapons there. But I actually kind of like Pat. I'll push back on that. I kind of like Pat, but I definitely didn't need Mike. That was I wanted to take someone else. Who are we talking about? Oh, I think I wanted to take Chandler there. So I could have taken Chandler, gotten a different wide receiver, and then gotten Trent. But real quick, I think Childs dipped, but real quick, I saw this. He was going to take Dan Arnold over Brock Purdy. So glad for the push. I just think in that scenario is just like if Hurts goes down, sure, the team is more than likely dead. But because you had that double stack with San Francisco already, like just give yourself another out for that 1 or 2 weeks that Purdy really goes off. You probably have the wide receiver that he's hitting when Purdy's hitting. So real quick, we'll recap and then we'll head out of here. Devonta Smith, Jalen Hurts. I've done this as well from this area of the draft. I really like it a lot. Debo, Terry, Brandon Ayuk, Alexander Madison, Brandon Cooks, Rashad White, Antonio Gibson, Rashad Penny, Michael Gallup, Khalil Herbert, Tyler Higbee, Gerald Everett, Dawson Knox, Ezekiel Elliott, Quez Watkins, and Brock Purdy. I get why you wanted potentially another tight end. You could definitely do 4 tight ends in this kind of build, but I just think that value for Purdy is too much. And I like getting Watkins with Philly too. So I probably like Hawk's team the most and Child's team second most, with my team in third. But I think it's pretty close between Child's and I's team. Hochberg, any last remarks about Child's or my squad for that matter?
I just really love Child's RB value here. Like he has a couple guys here: Penny, Gibson, Rashad White. That like kind of mid part of the draft, he got a lot of boom or bust guys. You know, and I think Herbert should have a couple of weeks where he's the guy in Chicago. And then his receivers are great. Obviously, having a guy like Hurts who could be the QB1 any given week is solid. I mean, look, weak spot at tight end, sure. But you get a 2 TD game from Higbee, and then all of a sudden you could be in a position to challenge for that top score. So I would agree with – I'd probably put your team above his team. I like your value at the top a little bit better than his.
Getting that Joe there, it's really hard to beat that in the 3rd and 4th round in these kind of games. You don't get many combos like that. So I get that. Maybe I would. I just really like that Smith Hurts start, and like the fact that he got Purdy in the 18th round. I would have been taking him probably in the 14th or 15th round with that build. So I just love what Childs did here. Big fan of it, but yeah, probably pretty close. But I'm in love with this team. I think this is exactly how you're supposed to be building. You're building within divisions and targeting these huge boom players, especially at wide receiver. Thornton, Mims, Shakir, Hyatt, and Robinson to end your wide receiver core, especially after starting with Gabe, Judy, and Tyreek Hill, who also have massive spike week potential. This is a really fun team. I would not be surprised if you're placing very high, especially near the end of the season when Javonte and Hall and then guys like Mims and Hyatt and Wandale should be getting healthier then once those guys start coming on. This is a really fun team. I want to start building out teams with some of these guys, and I might even come back and take a look at what you did here for some ideas. This is a really fun squad. Really like it.
Hey, I'll take any compliments from the Bobby Stats.
Well, I guess one question based on where Daniel Jones went, like now that you know that you had those other giant players, would you prefer Javonte and then like some other? Well, I guess not. Well, maybe
so
running
funny
back.
enough. I actually my first build is very similar to this one, where I was in the 5 spot, or I'm sorry, I was in the 6 spot. I got Hill, followed that up with Wilson Allen. I got Etienne, Kittle, Davis, Waller, Cooks, Jones, Penny, Herbert, Singletary, Spears, Campbell, Shakir, Hyatt, Shaheed, Evans, Zach Evans on the Rams.
And tell me the quarterbacks again.
So Daniel Jones at 102, which is he went 104. And Allen at I got Allen at 30.
Wow, because I was thinking about that from the week 13 bye perspective, because they have the same bye week, I believe. I think they're both week 13.
They're both
is Allen 13?
Yep.
So like in that way, you can kind of stack them up and then say, hey, I'm just going after these 2 offenses, and we're just blanking out week week 13, especially with Allen, with how, and that's the thing with those two guys specifically, you can get their wide receivers so much later that like really I don't mind taking two of them early because you're going to get that wide. If they hit, then the wide receivers later are going to hit too. So it's like you're going to be taking
I
them
feel
anyway.
the same way about Pat Mahomes. You can grab a Pat
Yeah.
Mahomes pretty early on and grab, your Rashee Rice's, you could grab Tony kind of later for wide receiver one. You can certainly grab MVS late in drafts. That's why I'm very high on Pat. I'm very high on Lamar for the same reasons. Um, Fields, you can grab your as long as you get more early, you can grab like Komet and Mooney later as well.
Yeah. So as we wrap up here, again, to remind everyone, going forward on Tuesdays at call it 9 to 9:30, we're going to be doing DK Tuesdays. Wednesdays, we're going to do weekly winner Wednesdays at about the same time, about 7:15 Eastern, 7 o'clock Eastern, depending on when I can get home. And some other Friday late night shenanigans streams mixed in there, hopefully some BBMs too. We're definitely going to be streaming the Keeper League Kids draft come August, September. Super excited for that. Got a bunch of other FFPC drafts I'm going to stream too. So best ball summer is really kicking off for the Fantasy Sports Matrix. Please leave a like, subscribe, do all that fun YouTube stuff. And before we head out, Hawk, any final words? I'll give you the stand.
Please like and subscribe. Support the Fantasy Sports Matrix so we can quit our day jobs.
I think we got to win BBM to do that. I don't think them supporting us is going to help us quit. But I appreciate it. I appreciate you. And thanks, everyone. Have a great weekend. Talk to you guys later.